Hello, Friendly Geordies. Coming at you live from the Friendly Geordie studio. Oh, we've got some emojis. And they're nice ones. I don't know if the internet allows you to do mean ones anymore. It's not the Wild West, is it? Is it? I don't know. I don't know much about the internet. As you all know, I'm a massive technophobe, and it is freaking me out that this is happening in real time, with a bunch of people screaming Warhammer at me over and over again. I don't know what you want me to do with that. Do you want me to start looking at Warhammer clips again? Because I will. But before I do, I have something to share with everyone. Something very magical. Oh. Do you notice the difference? Let's go through it. This is going to be one of those spot the differences, but live with moving pictures. Oh, how much more engaging is that than the Sydney Morning Herald's weekend puzzle? Didn't even... You piece of cramp. There. It does it before you go on. Well, we could fill in a good hour with this. Does anyone know what the difference is? Might be time for the first poll. If I can do one. Yeah. Everything's getting a lot smoother than our first stream. The US election one, where I was, as usual, proven right. Let's ask. Do you notice the difference between both screens? Now, just so we all have a sporting chance at this, I am truly impressed by that. Is that a damning indictment on me, or is it a damning indictment on you that you're not? I've also got $5 as a donation. Thank you very much. And that is the reason that we are doing these. This is our PBS telethon. After we do something like what we just released, which for obvious reasons I can't talk about in extreme detail. But the video that was just posted, which may or may not be on screen right now, obviously those are expensive and time-consuming to do. So it would be much appreciated if some of you went out and used your precious money to keep us in business so we could continue delivering videos like that, which I think we can all agree are extremely important. And if you don't do that, well, then you're a bad person, aren't you? You know who's not a bad person? Spencer Howard, $5. I'm a fat neckbeard. Thank you. That's all. By the way, all chats go straight into the coffers of my bank account. Well, it goes into my business bank account and I use that to pay wages of staff. And obviously we need to do that because then they wouldn't work here and they'd work for something up and coming like Vice magazine or Woman's Weekly. Howard, I'm a fat neckbeard. I don't think I need to get a picture of that to confirm. You are in the Friendly Geordies audience. I want to argue with you about nuclear power while simultaneously glazing you like an over-enthusiastic Spurg. Well, that is what most over-enthusiastic Spurgs want to do. Exactly. See, this is just confirming more of why you are a neckbeard. You didn't need to say the first part. We could all guess from the rest of it. I think you're going to have to pay a little more than $5 to argue with me, though, buddy. So we'll move on to this $20 donor who wrote, "What's your face routine, bros?" Oh, what face routine? Here's my face routine. Minnie from the Self-Help channel has helped me out greatly with this. She is an expert in skincare. I think that she would find this extremely offensive if I said this. Nonetheless, I'm going to say it anyway. She's city as fuck sometimes. And when she does look like a pizza face, I think that's it. She's done. She's reverted back to being a pimply 15-year-old. That is the end of her life as a skincare routine consultant. And then a week later, she's got nothing. I'll tell you what it is. It was a sponsor on the Jordan Shanks channel, but now I use it because I genuinely believe in the product. But it is the Apple face cleanser that you can get at the supermarkets. It's as cheap as the other ones. It just has the power of apples over the front of it. It's the apple sauce power block from The Simpsons. That's what I use on my face now. you can really feel the difference. And I'm not saying that because I'm paid, because I am not paid to say that. It's that, and also microwaving rice and honey together. Microwaving the rice until it is no longer rice, when it is congee that Singaporean grandmas would feed their children. And I rip it out of their starving mouths, put it on my face to make myself look slightly better than I would otherwise. And that's pretty much my face routine. But I truly believe, now, Minnie and I have great arguments about this, and I have no science to back up my position. But I really think that the rice mask works. It works wonders. It's like your face thanks you afterwards. That's the other reason that I like the Apple one. Because it feels like your face thanks you. When you use your Neutrogenas, when you use... I can't believe that we're talking about this. It's Dolly Magazine. We're having a Dolly Magazine chat on Friendly Geordies. Have I died and gone to heaven? When you do those, what do you want?
No, I'm just saying hello.
Oh, Mystery Man came in.
Yeah, no, just all going well. Maybe in our face kids.
Well, you got your $20. Let's move on to the next. Oh, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Watch some Warhammer, forehead freak. You got it. We'll watch one of those. What do you reckon about this? I will watch some of these Warhammer videos. I was going to poll, but I think we all know the answer to that. 90% overwhelming. All right, you twisted my arm. Let's watch one of those Warhammer War. What are these? These came up in my feed. How dare they assume that I'm into Warhammer? Like the rest of you have. I'm sick of being memed on like this. I don't like it. I hate painting it. I hate paying for it. I like the concept and principle, but then when I look into it, I think this is pretty lazy folklore. Warhammer 40k War. We'll watch one video. And then if you want me to watch another one, you're going to have to pay a hell of a lot more than $10. We're one of those videos. Look, we can move on to this one, can't we? Oh. In the meantime, I am going to answer this other question for $14. What are your thoughts about the new misinformation bill? Well, it looks like we're going to have to postpone the Warhammer one because they paid more. So, oh no, I'm doing it already. I've been a Twitch streamer for what? 3 hours tops. So, here's my thoughts on something that hasn't even gone through yet. I think that you're referring to the TikTok bill, the one that is giving us the ID for under 16-year-olds. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the misinformation bill? Because I have already made my thoughts apparent about the misinformation bill. You can go back and watch that.
Banned for under 16-year-olds.
Didn't I say that?
You said ID.
Oh. Wow.
His brain's working well.
Always.
He noticed the difference.
I know the difference. Did I say banned for over 16-year-olds?
No, you said ID for under 16. Call him out.
Here's my thoughts on the matter. We don't know what that bill is going to look like. I always pass judgment before anything else comes into bill form because what's the point? A lot of these things do get changed a lot by the time that they get into the final form. It's freezer perfect form. Probably it's not going to get better because what of these do? My general thought on the matter, having gone into this, is Labour, you already expended your cut capital this time around with The Voice. And you're coming into the next election and you're not looking crash hot at the polls already. You took a lot of skin for The Voice. As we were discussing before, there's also the cost of living crisis that is not your fault. It is no government's fault on earth, and they are all paying the price. It doesn't matter if it's Japan, doesn't matter if it's Germany, doesn't matter if it's the UK, doesn't matter what type of government they have. They are all getting hammered. It should tell you a lot that the Japanese government is getting hammered. The Japanese government never gets hammered. The Japanese government is one of those, yes, I'm Prime Minister for life for you. It's one of those types of systems. And they got smashed. So, in this context, I understand why they think it's cool. It's because they hang around a bunch of mums in their little Sydney Morning Herald greets where they try and ingratiate a bunch of journalists with ever-diminishing audiences. because that's what they've grown up into. You have to understand that the reason that we think it's a bad idea is exactly the reason that boomers think it's a good idea, because they grew up in different environments. And, well, when you are in that Canberra bubble and you are in that managerial class bubble, doesn't matter how good your intentions are, you are going to sit around with a bunch of mums and they'll say, they just never get off the thing. They don't ever listen to me. Oh, they're so nervous. They're so anxious. And then they think in their heads, oh, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll ban it. Look, I totally agree. If you've ever watched my self-help channel, that something needs to be done about social media. It is sick, pernicious. I mean, look at all you freaks watching me right now. You know what you could be doing instead of this? Learning to be on a unicycle, balancing on a bear's nose, joining the Lehman Brothers circus, touring the world in an array of cruel animal acts. You could be doing all of that, but instead we're all sitting here glued, whinging about things that don't really affect us, constantly getting angry, mad, smug. Those seem to be the only acceptable emotions on the internet for some reason. It is a cancer. It is a very bad thing for society. See in point previous election in the US. It is not a good thing. It really isn't. Having said that, I don't know what this is going to achieve. We're going to have to look into it because, again, this is all my thoughts at the beginning of it, but I really agree with most people where they think, well, what they're going to do is, because 16-year-olds are extremely savvy these days, they are going to go onto a VPN, pretend that they live in Turkmenistan, and they'll get in. Oh, well, they've already been banned in Turkmenistan. They'll pretend that they live in India, and they'll get in. And they'll use it. So I don't think that this is going to do anything except piss off that neckbeard that was being like, you beat me on nuclear energy. It's really going to anger that type of the youth market a lot. And yes, they might be a minority. Overwhelmingly, there's going to be a bunch of mums across the country saying, finally, my child will listen to me. And they might be right. But you are hemorrhaging votes in this demographic. All of them are, because our demographic thinks we're way smarter than we are, and we're all a bunch of Reddit users, and we're just looking for reasons to complain, and the thing that is going to tick us off more than anything is something that is aimed at silencing our thoughts on the internet. That's going to do that. Now, obviously, it doesn't aim at us, it's the under 16 thing. I am going to have to look into this more. Maybe it is overreaching. I think that the misinformation bill was the other way around, where I looked into it and thought, this is worse than I thought. Now, I do want to make this very nuanced opinion that will be completely forgotten and no one will listen to it for a second, but the misinformation bill is absolutely not the same as the cyberbullying laws and the anti-terror laws that the Liberal Party put through. What they did was so much more sinister. Now, when you're sitting there and saying, oh, I'll just vote for the Liberals, they are moving in on this as well. This is across the board, they think it's a good idea. I don't know what the Greens' stance is on it, but I would imagine that the Greens would probably have exactly the same stance that they had with the misinformation bill, which is, yes, awesome, I'm sick of being dunked on Twitter. And they'll all merrily skip along for it, because I don't think that this is a party issue. What this is a managerial class issue. This is something that we are getting more and more interested in the more we look into politics now. I think it explains a lot of the resentment between the rest of Australia and what's happening in Canberra. And I do need to couch this opinion. There's so many things that I need to couch. But I'm a huge fan of public servants. I hate that they're getting crapped on all the time. I think that they literally keep the country going. If you don't have public servants, you don't have a country. You have Somalia. They are incredible people, and they do so much better things for the world than what? The stop slow guys that drink Monster cans? I suppose they are public servants to a smaller degree. Whatever, like people that just work at a lowly real estate firm, people that work in banks. Public servants, their entire job is public service. I get it. But, like everyone else, like us, and the reason that we are going to think this is going to sink them in the election, we are all stuck in our own bubbles. The problem is that the Canberra bubble has ramifications to the rest of the country. So when they are stuck in groupthink, and the rest of the country doesn't like that groupthink, they're completely baffled and on the back foot as to what's going on the outside. I think that this is a huge problem. I don't think that this is an avoidable problem either. I think that if you were in Canberra right now, you would be part of the Canberra bubble. Of course you would, because you are just who your 5 people that you hang out with most are. That is all you are, is just a crap bit copy Frankenstein of them. So everybody does it. It's natural human behavior. But if you are around a bunch of managers that sit around all day thinking about, how do we make rosters more efficient? How do we make signing up to Medicare more efficient? When you're thinking about that all day, you look at the internet and you think, how do we streamline the internet to get rid of the excess, which they would see in their mind as mean calls on Reddit and Twitter. And the only way that you can do that is by being really, really bad. You can't do it in a nice, pleasant way. It's not going to work. So that's my general thoughts on it now. And I think that it's very stupid and it's picking a fight that doesn't need to be picked. And I think that they should be focusing more on the fight that they did pick, which is the main reason that they're going to lose. It's exactly the same reason that... what? Oh, he just came in. I think that he's cleaning up.
I'm looking for the charger for that computer so you can keep going.
Oh, okay. Oh no, it's got like quite a bit of battery. I don't know. Anyway, where we gonna find this Warhammer video? I can't believe that you want me to. Okay, look, this is one of those 3D animation ones. We'll answer some more questions in the meantime. Thank you so much for all the people that are donating. I very much appreciate it. Please can you take on the Brethren next? They are not just a fringe cult. They own everything. There is a world of corruption. What's the Brethren? Put another 20 on it and tell me what the Brethren is, Nash. I don't know. We'll find out. Thank you, everybody that signed on, though. Thanks to you, I care more about politics than my own country, I'm assuming. Oz politics. Yeah, but just New Zealand dollars. There we go. All right. I think you should probably focus on your own country's politics, but I will take the view. And the New Zealand dollars, which probably equates to about 60 cents Australian. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Ramsey. Very nice of you. Warhammer, you freak show. God. Getting roasted here. You don't want to watch this ad?
With Atera, you can solve issues with a click and prevent a Murphy Christmas for all. Avoid
Here we go.
opportunistic attacks.
No.
And frantic
That's the one. Sorry about that, gang. Shut up. Alright, we're watching Warhammer. You happy?
Victory.
This is my life.
That is what the preachers cry from the spires of their temples.
Look, it is pretty epic. Alright, maybe it is awesome.
Tell the soldiers in their service. The Indomitus Crusade meets with triumph after triumph. Day by day we tear Imperium Nihilus from the Despoiler's grip. And though we are beset on all sides, with each battle we drive back the mutant, the heretic, the alien.
Just to draw it back to politics for a second, I have no reason to do this, but don't you think that that is being involved in politics? We drive back forces on every side. The Liberals, the Greens, the Independents. Yes! And that was Adam Baird. Take it. Did you see him in the polls recently? Oh, suck shit. Slightly more popular than Lydia Thorpe and Pauline Hanson. That ain't popular!
As I speak these words, our forces engage the remnants of Leviathan.
Could you imagine if you were in that universe and you are constantly fighting wars and shit? That would be so hectic. I got to take some other chats because this is the reason that we're here. And thank you so much for anybody that is donating. That's very sweet of you. What's going to happen to Australia when the price of living continues to go up? I don't think that it will. I think that we will start seeing some reductions in the RBA interest rate. You would have to... Having everybody known my extremely impeccable track record for predicting things, I'm going to say that it's all looking up because the RBA is getting massively bullied to make a rate cut. The rest of the reserve banks or their equivalents of it, their central banks across the planet, are making these interest rates cuts. The economy is on the down, is just steadily on the upward trajectory globally. If I may just put in the Labour shield point, the Labour Party has done a very good job at managing the economy through the cost of living crisis. It could have been way worse, and I'm referring to a bunch of Alan Austin articles that you could look up now about how much better the Australian economy is in shape in comparison to other countries, and it is way better in comparison to when Scott Morrison and Josh Frydenberg were in during cost of living. So they did a very good job at managing what was a very uncomfortable, bad period for everybody. I'm hoping it goes down, all right? I want to build a veranda. Come on, make it go down. Let's do some other big chats for a second. Have you thought about reviewing the menu at Costco food? No, I've never thought about that in my life. But thank you for the $15 though, Bernard. And I will start thinking about that a lot. We'll watch a little bit more of Warhammer and then we'll get back to your comments.
Claiming lost worlds. Atone
Fuck streaming's easy.
for old shames. Our crusade to cleanse the stars. Taking the fight to the enemy.
Oh, why aren't any chicks into this? All Warhammer is a guy shooting an alien in the face and the alien exploding and melting his. Forever, continuing on ad infinitum. The thing that I don't like about Warhammer is, where's the periods of peace, damn it? Where's the diplomacy? It's always bang this, bang that. It's like a goddamn Clint Eastwood movie. George, did you take down the Border Force video? That was the funniest shit. Stop trying to appeal to Zoomers and Seppos. Recognize what brought you here. What are you talking about? What? What Border Force video? Thanks for the $10 though. But that is my response to you. Good on you, Matt. Rosie Cass writes, wait a sec, why will the Liberals lose? Also, thank God people like you who are actually doing something to keep us all informed, keep it up. Rosie, I can't thank you enough for being nice to me. I mean, look, you do need it in this biz. Every now and then a bit of a gas up. Rosie, I don't know if the Liberals are going to lose. I suspect, looking at the polling, but as we saw, that doesn't really account for anything anymore. But if you do look at the polling at the moment, it looks like Labor's heading for minority government, which means that they are heading for loss in the next election cycle, because the whole point of getting into minority government is so that the press can turn around and say, look at the chaos, and then get the LNP in to end the chaos, which begins the chaos for 10 years, and then people get fed of that, and then they elect Labour for a year, and then business interests and the upper middle class with their weird niche views conspire to put them into minority government, and then the cycle continues again. La, 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 la. The Brethren Church. You gave me another $20 to describe the Brethren Church. I feel so bad for you, Josh, but keep it coming. Yum, yum, yum. The Brethren Church, they are on the Snowy Hydro 2.0. They exclusively work with other Brethren business and are big Liberal Party donors. Well, of course they would be, because that is why Snowy Hydro was built. Not for any environmental reasons. It's purely because it is another way of controlling a power source. I like the fact that it's being built, don't get me wrong. And I might do as much, Joe. That's a very good suggestion of a video that I'm sure will get 150,000 views and no one will care about. But it's important, damn it. That's most of this channel now, isn't it? Look, can we just... All right, look, I'll show you a minute of Warhammer, and then we're going to go back to the Brethren. Don't you get enough Brethren from this shit? Look. Look at him. All right, if that's the context, then chat. Who is the Brethren in that situation? So the Brethren are Liberal Party donors. Who's the massive alien running at them? ASDF Josh, $20 Australian. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for yelling shut the fuck up at that chick during the One Melbourne show you did a while back. That describes most of my shows. I can't remember which shut the fuck up I yelled at. But I'll take the compliment. I do like yelling shut the fuck up at strangers, especially women. Lost in Ideas. $20. Thanks so much for all these big donations. Really helpful. It is. Because as we said before, the video that we just premiered before, that took a lot of time to do. Hey there, been a while. I officially left the Greens a few months ago. That's my boy! You're not lost in ideas anymore. Everybody give him a round of applause. He's out of the cult. And he's back in the Geordie's cult. Nice. They are really not okay. They really aren't, are they? But aren't we all glad that it's starting to reflect in the polls? I think that the ruse is up. So good on everybody for spreading the word. And now I'm a part of a community independence project group and was wondering what your thoughts on them are. Don't know what the community independence group is. Generally, my thoughts on independence are, if they're going after National Party seats, great. If they're going after Labor Party seats, not great. I don't think that there is many examples of independents going after Labor Party seats. I think generally they're going after Liberal Party votes, which again, great. I think that independents use their platform to scream and moan about donations. We should have mining like Norway. A bunch of that stuff, which is unbelievably childish, and they can only do that because they are in the independence position and will never have to deliver on that, and are purely just talking that to an echo chamber of people that like to feel smug and superior about having these very measured opinions. Very informed opinions on politics without really understanding that much about politics. It's just hey, this is a good idea. That's the whole party thing. Generally, I think that that's what they do. When independents are in rural seats, though, I think that they are a godsend. An absolute godsend. That's my thoughts. Thank you for your $20. Rosie Katz, another $10. Oh, thank you, Rosie. Thanks so much for that. Much appreciated. Here's some more support. What can I say but thanks? Gad, another $20. Good on everybody that's donating so much. Love your work. Thanks for 4 years of highlighting our political system. Thanks for your years of highlighting our political system. Well, now that I have, I could probably use that time to learn to read. Cheers, Cat. When is Friendly Geordie's Discord server being launched? You can tie access to YouTube memberships and Patreon dollars milk up like an LMP donor. Look. It is a miracle that I'm doing this at the moment. I don't know how any of this is working. We all just be grateful with this for now. Now let's just go back and watch some Warhammer. What we all came here to do.
We will improve
We
everything
routed the
gradually over
Tyranids
time,
at
better
bar.
tech, everything, one step at a time.
Oh, I'm being heckled. Sorry. I can't really hear. I'm listening to aliens being shot in the head.
I'm sorry, sir. Carry on. As you were.
We broke their high fleet. Soon, their foulness will be but a memory. That is what the preachers say.
It really is the same format as Power Rangers. Remember, Oh, I'm going to go down and try and beat the Power Rangers. Oh no, there's 5 of them. I'm going to get some help to become really big. Oh no, the Power Rangers also became really big in their robot suits. We are man children. We are man children. I met a fat neckbeard the other day that was in his 50s, walks up to me and says, I'm a father of 2. Where's the Warhammer content? And I said, sir, I think you've got some other issues that you should probably be addressing right now, such as writing a will. Let's see what else we, I gotta keep up on the chats. ONT, you're going to have to write in full sentences for me. Just imagine speaking to your mum. That's how you should speak to me, because I really don't understand the internet at all. I am in this world, but not of this world. Always agree with you, but here's score genuine courage. But here's score your genuine courage. And then he goes really old school in the end. This is on both sides of the spectrum at once. You're talking 2024 and 1824 at the same. Who says score anymore? I appreciate the class though, sir. And I am more into or closer to understanding people saying your and score than ONT. Take with that what you will, good sir. Top of the morning to ye. Can we get an Eagle Boys workers confess their sins? I don't think that we can, because I don't think that Eagle Boys exists anymore. What do you reckon about the Confess Your Sins series? Poll. We'll do that right now. Yeah, you do it. Mystery Man, do it. I got to go through all these, and yeah, once I do it, we'll watch more Warhammer. $7 just for $8 just for nothing. That's even better than $7, isn't it? Thank you. Sophia Verdon Williams, Geordies. I'll put all 63k myself. I remember you. You. I don't remember you. Geordies, I'll put 63k my super into a fund of your choice if you promise not to do a Warhammer thing for a year. Not worth it. Really not. Sophia, I know that you are offering a lot of money here, but you're playing with the big boys. If there is one shadowy business that pays my bills, let's be honest, it's Big Games Workshop. They own my ass. $50? That's so many monies. From Autistic Kid 55. Yeah, because you don't have to spend it on social outings, right? Have watched and loved your videos for a while. Also loved your show on Wollongong was Skibbity Riz. Autistic Kid 55. I hope 55 isn't your age, because you don't get to use kid anymore. It's not like being a boxer coming out of retirement. That was a cool show, wasn't it? I really like performing to Wollongong because it's a strange combination of being highly educated and highly pov. A lot of missing teeth in the audience, but a lot of, yes, I have read Wittgenstein. Thank you so much for the $50. That's what we like to see. And the reason that we do like to see it is because all of this money will be going to the Friendly Geordies keeping the business afloat and expanding fund. And I think that if we do that, we can produce more of the videos that we did before. We can also just produce more videos that are necessary to produce to keep out those. For instance, this is something that I will take credit for, that I think was highly important in the last election when it came to Save the Miles. We made the energy transition grid, and the fact that the only reason that they were getting unelected is because of the coal tax, we made that an issue. We made that an issue. No one else was talking about that. That helps. Those sorts of messages help. This is something that we've been able to do because we've been building this up over the years, and if we can continue to build it up, that is going to make that message resonate more. The more people that understand those linkages, the more people that are going out and talking to their friends. It's really good having a very highly nerdy neckbeard audience that instead of going out and getting a girlfriend are plunging me into their incelness by making me watch Warhammer. As an American, I have no idea where I am or how I got here, but go team. Well, thank you for your $20, except for even though that is the exact problem, opposite problem that the New Zealander had, which is that that's $2 for you. But nonetheless, you are great. Don't you ever forget that. And then $10, and then somebody just put a hippopotamus putting a cat backwards. Well, I appreciate that. Who doesn't? Sunscreen, $30. Wrote, tits out for the boys. Hey, also, chat, what confess your sins do you want? Put them up. Let's see what happens. Put them out. Whip out your confess your sins. I want to see what happens. What ideas do you have for it? We'll make the videos. Trust me, we will make the videos. We're running out of ideas. Tits out for the boys. Thank you, Sunscreen. Another $10. These are very, very generous donations. Hey, Geordies, love your work. On the topic of independent candidates, I ran independently for New South Wales local council when the Libs fumbled their nominations. Thoughts on the nomination debacle in New South Wales? If you can't get nominated, how could you run a country? Or local council? Probably could run local council. Seems to be a pretty easy job. What do you have to do on local council, really? Bin night is Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Yeah, keep that up. It was glorious, though. Do you agree? What a day. And they came out and had to start the blame game about why they couldn't run. What was it again? 150 candidates? Suckers. This is a mainstream party. You have to understand that this is how incompetent the Liberal Party are. It says that they have the bureaucracy to cushion their incompetence. But when they're run by themselves, look at that. I mean, they really do believe in smaller government, don't they? They've gotten it to the point where they are no longer able to... That is small government. They are no longer even able to participate in government. That's how small it's become. $5 dues. Yeah! You said the Aussie border security parody. He picked the most oranges. Now he is your Stalin. You guys know me better than me. I have no idea what you're talking about. None. But thank you so much. Good on you. Tits out for the boys. Tits out for the boys, lad. Lad. Yes. Very good. Very good. Alright, now we can watch some more Warhammer. Yay!
Belief will not save us. Lies will not protect us. But it is our hope that will damn us.
Oh, that's such a big... Oh, it's not an explosion. I stand corrected. What are those psychic guys and what's the point of them? I mean, they've got guns. Why is there wizards? Can you just keep them separate? In fantasy, you have magic. In the future, you have guns. Oh no, it's happening to me. I'm starting to get angry. I've got very unwoke opinions about Warhammer. Let me see what else we've got. Lost in Ideas donated another $50. Really don't have to keep doing this, Lost in Ideas. Thank you so much, though. Donating the monies again. We are going against Labour and just saying, I don't think you remember the last time you streamed on Twitch, but I recall you own a pack of... I own you a pack of beers for winning at Fortnite. So what brand and when are you coming to Perth? I don't drink beers. I do. I use one to loosen up before a show. It's an old showbiz trick, but I don't know. I'm able to drink anything that is in front of me. If somebody pissed into a bottle and they drank alcohol beforehand, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. That is so nice of you for donating $50, though, good sir. Very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. Very nice of everyone. Let me just see what else we've got here. Jesus, someone donated $100. Oh my God. That's a lot of money. But I can't click on it. There we go. Because people are donating so much. Thank you. Really mean it. Keep it up. Let the man Warhammer, but also thanks for all the content and help to fight the very large misinformation sphere that exists in today's media. Cheers, Mum. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Very appreciative of the $100. Very appreciative of that. Honestly, I'm telling you, all of these donations, just so you know, that is going to go straight into edits for videos. Straight into edits for videos. And helps us pay a significant chunk for them. That's all this money goes into. It goes straight back into the business. And I really, at the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for a crisp $100 dues. It's a lot. What else have we got? Hey, Kitty, thanks for your work over the years. Hey, Kitty, thanks for the work over the years. Any chance of a Cold Ones collab in the future? Love from the Nationals capital of Australia, Mildura. We all spare a thought for Clay Campbell. That must be tough. Imagine being the only person in an electorate that doesn't vote Nationals. You'd always be on the verge of being lynched. Well, yes, there is a chance of a collab in the future. My problem is that I'm too lazy to ever organise any collabs, and I think that Cold Ones is quite lazy at organising collabs as well. But we've got nothing but respect. Well, I think that they probably hate me, but I like them. I think that they are unequivocally the best YouTubers that Australia has ever produced. And it's such a great formula. Two man-children getting hammered and beating each other. What's not to like? If you have space elves, you must have magic somewhere. True that. All right. See, this is how naive I am on this universe. We're all learning together. Look at all these huge donations. I can't believe how generous you all are. You need to do a Zookeepers Confess Their Sins. Even just animal workers. You wouldn't believe the vet nurses get up to when no one's looking. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. People like animal cruelty, don't they? It's not a bad idea. Alison the Animal. Do you have a YouTube channel, do you? You got a two... Is a buzzard eating your face? Did you starve yourself so it started pecking your eyes out?
The problem is getting enough stories for those ones.
Yes. As Mystery Man points out, hard when there's a very niche job to get enough stories, because I'm sure you have some stories, Alison. But how many... Well, again, it's a Friendly Geordie's audience, and Alison, I think that you will agree. I don't think that you're going to take this as a personal insult. I think that you know it's true. If you are somebody that's an animal person, if you are somebody that works at a zoo, you're a bit... And that seems to be everybody here. Now, look, if we get enough, we will do that. Team Taj, love everything you do, Jordan. Please take a small token of gratitude. You're a big inspiration. Thank you so much, Team Taj. Thank you so much. He gave $70. I can't get over how generous everybody is. Look at them all coming through. Look at this. We've got another $20. Hey, mate. Draco just wrote, hey, mate, fourth donation of the time. It's time for a Confess Your Sins. And as now a 16-year-old IGA employee myself, I need it. Hey, you. Thank you so much for the fourth donation of the night, Draco. Thank you. But just so you know, you have some work to do. Because we are going to be releasing collecting the stories of people that work at supermarkets. Put it down. And you could win the ultimate prize of you getting read out without your name being read out, because we can't be bothered to look for anonymity clauses and we don't want to out anybody. And as a result, you get very little cred. If you have some Friendly Geordie's friends, you can say, hey, that's my story. And then it'll be like in The Simpsons. It looks more like Betty Soymington. Thanks for taking other people's credit. What are you on?
No, I'm just...
Oh, okay, just hanging out.
That one will be at the end of the Red Rooster video. We got filmed and almost finished edited.
Yeah!
I think...
You heard them, man.
I think it's that one.
Have we been going for 24 minutes?
What? No, we've been going for longer than that.
What's that recording down there for 24?
Well, that's probably crashed. Or you accidentally started recording, which, yes, you did. The recording doesn't matter. You're streaming.
Okay. What's this warning?
What is that warning? That is the internet is bad where we are.
Ah, yeah.
And you say you can't fix that.
No, I can't do anything about that. Been here since State of Origin vid. Wow! Now I remember that one. It passionately runs in my veins. You introduced 13-year-old me into politics through funny maroon versus blue footy. Haha, skit. Love you all. I love you. It's always so heartwarming to hear that. It really is. And now look at you. After us providing you with 7 years of free content, decided to give us $20. What about the rest of you, mate? Thanks, man. Veterans confess their sins? Ooh, dare we? I mean, it's getting a lot of likes. I mean, we do. I do have Mystery Man look at the comments beforehand, so we can't put out anything too racy. But yeah, why not? Hey, just in case you haven't seen, this video has just come out. This video is important for you to go watch. Make sure that you watch that, and then come back, and then we together will watch something that is way, way more important. Oh, mother! So many bullets. What do you reckon Republicans think of this? Is it nerdy, or are they getting off on how many guns there are? One of the two.
In the spires and the slums.
We've also got a poll up. Aged care workers confess their sins. What do you reckon about that? I mean, we were getting a lot of requests for it. What's your vote? Oh! Oh my god!
Our people sing of victory. Victory as the galaxy burns. Victory as the Imperium rots around us. Victory as humanity rages against the dying of the light.
Can't believe I'm saying this. This might be the most pathetic, nerdiest thing I've ever said, but the man makes a good speech. If you have created a genre called Grim Dark, I'm imagining there's going to be some neckbeards out there that have read enough fantasy and science fiction to string together a mean sentence. Don't you think that has to be the darkest, most epic thing you've ever heard? I hate myself right now. I hate myself. But we're going to have to rewind and listen to this fiction.
As the galaxy burns. Our people sing of victory. Victory as the galaxy burns. Victory as the Imperium rots around us. Victory as humanity rages against the dying of the light.
Look at him! Look at him! It's Joe Biden! His last 2 months in office. They're blue. They're even blue. Ultra means the Democrats changed my mind. That speech totally... Our people sing of victory as the Imperium rots around us. All right. Have we got any other comments? Let me see. Let's see. Jesus Christ. People are giving out huge amounts of money. Hello. This is $100. No, that's it. Sir. If you are a sir. I'm going to put an ad in the background. No, even that's disrespectful. No. You just get the normal screen. $100 donation deserves 100% of my attention. HyperMC. Thank you so much for this. Hello, your videos got me to actually care about what actually happens in Oz. Been watching your content for a while now, and I love your work, mate. What is not to like about that? For me, personally. But as I said before, anybody that is doing that, straight into videos. Straight into video production. The more of this, the more of this. It's going to be a continual cycle of bringing up, which I think that we need to do in this day and age, so that we can at least get the message out that does not want to get out, which is look, what are your competing narratives in this country? You have the Murdoch press, you have the ABC, which is pretty much co-opted by the Murdoch press, and even if Labor was in for the next 10 years, it would take decades to undo that damage, because this is the whole thing about bureaucracy. Once it's stacked, it takes just as long to unstack it. That's number one. Number two is, I suppose, that Saturday paper crikey crowd, the upper class liberal elite that try to push the whole, let's go for a minor party. But this is all highly moneyed interests. Who's looking out for the working man, eh? Seriously, name me someone else that is looking out for the average Australian. Not looking out for, you know what, I've read this very interesting study recently, which is that the less politically engaged you are, the more that you look at politics as what policies can do for me, the more engaged you are with politics, the more you start thinking, what do these policies that I support say about me? This is why you start getting more and more removed, the more wealth that you have, and you have to be very conscious of not getting into that trap. But when you start making enough money and sitting there because you're bored reading newspapers to be like, oh, well, I'll just read this so I have a very impressive opinion about what I think should happen with the tax scheme, that whatever. When you start doing that and you start getting more into politics, your identity becomes politics. So the politics, the actual things that you are supporting is purely there as this like virtue signal to the other people in that class of, yeah, we're all on the same page and yeah, we get it. These are not people that are looking out for the average everyman. This is how you get things like the Greens blocking the HAF. The HAF had enough housing out to start building homes for about a fifth of the homeless in this country. And they blocked it, and they screwed up time schedules for a bunch of those builds that needed to happen so that they could whinge about renters. Because to them, this is all play. They have never been homeless. They've never had to rely on housing commission. It is all theoretical, and it is all a virtue signal to them. And this is why they're going down to the polls, because I think that people are starting to see that. They're starting to see that they are only in there because the entire movement is built off of virtue signaling. And that is a viewpoint that is constantly pushed in the Sydney Morning Herald, that is constantly pushed in the Saturday paper, that is constantly pushed in Crikey, that is constantly pushed on social media, that is constantly pushed by think tanks. Why? Because this is a very upper middle class viewpoint, and they have the money to donate to these things. My question is, who is looking out for the worker? Who is looking out for the people, the vast majority of the population, the 70%? Who's pushing forward the message of the Workers' Party? Who is saying, this is how things are done in the real world? I struggle to think of anyone. There is no other media outlet like this in the world. There's no other media place like this. It's really scary. America will have views like that spread throughout. There is a bunch of YouTube channels that are constantly talking about how awesome Bernie Sanders is, he's just an old school Workers' Party guy. Where's that in Australia? Thank you so much for everybody that continues to donate, though. That's very nice of you. Now, we are going to go back to that poll, 90%. Yeah. I think we're doing an aged care worker. All right. All right. Now, in the meantime, we will continue to... Oh, sorry, I need to answer this one as well. What do you reckon Arnie Shelley's opinion is on Warhammer?
Oh, yeah, little plastic. Like little toys, is it? Aren't you a bit old for that? Yeah, hang on, let me just sniff that paint. Yeah, I reckon you could get a good time off of that one.
Victory.
Company command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
Why are they always fighting the Tyranids? Come on, surely there has to be something else we can watch than this. It's too pathetic. All right, let's look in. What else have we got in terms of comments? All right, we'll just go with this one. Mid loser here. Geordies, have you ever thought about making a vid making fun of the New Zealand government and that silly ship sinking? No, I haven't. I have never in my life thought about doing a video about New Zealand. Not once. How many of you Kiwis watch? And why do you watch me? I'd like to know. What am I doing that attracts you? Is it purely because Australians are the closest thing that you have to somebody that does produce content? Because if that is the case, that's very sad, because you have to know, Kiwis, we do hate you. We're not making it up. You've got no one, do you? I feel so sorry for you guys. An entire country that's not even the population of Sydney. We always say that too. Oh my God, our country is the size of one city in China. That's you to us. About what a blip you are. And so purely because I don't think that it'd get many views, I don't do it. Anyway, is there any other videos that you want me to watch and comment on? I will do that. Trust me, I will. If our internet connection goes well, because it is starting to fuck up. It's really screwing up. Connor, how's your internet connection doing? Huh?
Thank you.
Oh.
It's all good. It's good enough.
To feed the Imperium.
All right, there we go. Let me just see. Let me just see what's going on that channel. How's that doing? That's video stream. Okay, watching. There we go. I don't know if this is. Let me just look.
I've
at
lost
something.
count of the-
Hang on. Let me. All right, so this is working a little bit wonkily. Sorry about this, everybody. I feel like my chat's frozen.
Need me to come look at it?
It's getting really. Sorry about this, everybody that's watching. Obviously, there's going to be some technical difficulties, but this one is just not.
No. Oh. You keep doing that. I'll tinker around on this. You keep entertaining the good people. How about that?
All right, I'll keep entertaining the good people. What do we want to watch? Anything? Well, see, this is the whole thing. I don't know if this is even working properly. I'm going to be looking at this. Let me just see this. All right, we'll read out some of the comments on the actual channel. I don't know. Very confusedly standing here.
This is my hack.
Now I'm watching my own stream, I think. Oh yeah, well this is working. Now this is moving. Okay. Alright, there's something. Good. It is working here. Pretty sure I watched re-uploads of these banned vids. We will just keep reading out comments at the moment. See, look, now it's working here better. This one was frozen over there, so we're going to have to use it on the actual screen. I'll keep it off. This is an old man. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll reset this one for you. Chuck me the mouse.
Spectre MG. What? Very nice. Very nice. Oh, I see what you do there. All right, Spectre. Finally, a millennial reference. Here's some shekels for you. Came across something the other day. Have a sneak peek at the McClelland Royal Commission if you have any spare time. Also, if you'd like to do 3D print some politicians as 40k races. Yes, I would. Spectre MG, can you get into contact at Friendly Geordie's Gmail? I think that would be really good merch. Check it out. Look at this. You got another... Speaking of ideas, stop giving me money. Oh, this is working here. And now I've got a bunch of comments to go back on.
Do you want a lesson on how to fix that, or we'll do all this later?
We'll do all this later. I don't want to...
If it fucks up, let me know.
I will try. That's about direct. Since everybody on the Friendly Geordies team is so pro Big Australia. What? I am not pro Big Australia. What are you talking about? Thank you for the $50, but
The team.
keep your money.
We are. The team is, not you.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. They are cucks, aren't they? I don't know if they are, though. I think the only one that is pro Big Australia is Ali, and of course he would, wouldn't he? What are your thoughts on the Pacific Island Union Alliance? Every island nation from New Zealand to JP getting together to wrestle independence from USA and China. Maybe annex Hawaii and Taiwan in the pro. I think that that's a complete fantasy. I don't think that that's going to happen. That's what I think about that. I can't be serious. This is the first time I've ever heard about this. Atsevin, I don't want you to give more money. That is so generous that you gave $50. However, you have got to let me know where you got that from. I need to look into that. There is no way that they think, all right, look, just for you, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a quick Google search, and whatever comes up first is going to be my opinion. That's how it works! Pacific Island Union Alliance. Let's read the AI overview chat, shall we? That'll be the right answer. The Pacific Union is a proposed political and economic intergovernmental community for the Pacific Islands. It was first suggested in 2003 by Australian Senate Committee. The Union would have a common charter, institutions and currency. So they're doing an EU, eh? Yeah, that's what it was all about, wasn't it? First nationalism, then regionalism, and then finally globalism. Alex Jones was right. That's the real reason he was banned. I have no issue with it, though. I am the exact opposite. I am one of those dirty globalists. I think it would be a really good idea to have large, powerful intergovernmental panels. I mean, you can see it with the EU. Now, I don't want to get into the big conspiracy of everybody talking about how bad it is. I just want to continue to live in my own bubble where I think the EU is a great thing. It's not a bad idea. All right, well, thank you so much for invalidating me on that. All right, Snowy, $10. It's actually kind of adorable in how insecure you are about being a nerd. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Yes, it is! Yes, it is! We should not be watching Warhammer as fully grown men. What is wrong with us as a generation? There's nothing wrong with it. You know what you are, Snowy? You're the... Let me find it. This is great. In real time, I can use my Simpsons references. I don't have to use my mouth anymore and describe it. What the hell? What's all this kid crap?
It's not so bad, Homer. They go into your nose and...
I wish that I could do this faster, but you have to bear with me. I will start to get this faster. This is you. This is you, Snowy.
Bad, Homer. They go into your nose and they let you keep the piece of brain they cut out. Look. Ooh, hello. Hello there. Who's that big man there? Who's that?
Join us, Father.
And that's chat. Oh! It's me. That's me. I'm Homer, the main character. Let's read the other comments. Robert F. Kennedy for 2024. Love you, Jordan. Well, glad that you got what you wanted. Which I wish for that, Lucky. Oh, look, it's a lizard. No way. Oh, look, it's a lizard is pro-monarchy. Danish monarchy, that is. Because an Australian is the Queen of Denmark. Don't argue with me. I've said my piece. I don't disagree. The only thing that I disagree with is I like keeping up the traditions of the royal family. But look, as long as there is a royal family, I'm happy. I just like seeing what they're up to. I'm a real commoner like that. I very much like seeing, oh, King Charles is out and he's wearing a blue tie. Isn't that lovely? Doesn't he look handsome? Well, handsome for an 80-year-old man. We need a channel for Jordan Shanks about being the best nerd you can be. Yeah, we might actually need that channel. Hachi machi, that's a good idea. We might very much do that. Thank you, Forsey. And I am going to go back. Oh no, I think it is moving again, but it is this constant death. All right, let's look at this one. Lost an idea. Lost an idea. Stop giving me your money. I'm sick of it. You're too nice. $100. Although I disagree with you on some of your policies, I do want to say thank you for your videos allowing me to think critically about why I think the way I think about politics and made me realize why the Greens weren't as good as I thought they were. For that, thank you. I'm telling you, they're a scam. Most independents are a scam. We've been down this path since the beginning of Federation. It is the same con every time. We need a third force to keep the bastards honest. Oh, what do you know? They basically side with the libs most of the time. And they impede a bunch of progress. Because I disagree with Marx on nothing because I'm too stupid to. But one thing that I thought, yeah, he's right. And you can absolutely... Look, Karl Marx's biggest critics have to agree with him on this. The great societal divide in every society, and will always be the big divide, these are the two drivers of the economy. Capital versus labor. Those are the two drives. You have capital and you have labor. Everything that is not labor automatically moves into capital. It has to. So with the Greens, for instance, what is it? It is a highly middle class to upper middle class movement. It's that same class that we're talking about, that superfluous class. They have to make political policy and decisions to keep that constituency happy. And what is that constituency? A bunch of removed assholes that own arts galleries and work for VCA. They are not attached to the rest of Australia. They are not attached to the working class in any way, shape, or form. They are these noble saviors that go into the working class and think that they know what's best, but really, all of it is just fashionable. It's all about, you know, I have this very charitable opinion. But as soon as they are really challenged on anything, so when you can see it, for instance, when they say, okay, so can we build some housing commissions in your suburbs? No, absolutely not. Go build that crap out in the western suburbs. Not near me. This is the type of person that the Greens have to appeal to. This is who the Greens are. And this is that same movement that's happened all throughout history. So you had the DLP before, and the DLP was all about how holy the Catholics are and how much better the Catholics are than everybody else, that the Labor Party isn't Christian enough for them. And then it moved to the Democrats, and then the Democrats were, we're just keeping the bastards honest. Everyone's a bastard except us. And then it moves to the Greens. It is all just a reflection of the upper middle class's narcissism. That is that third force. Look at who the independents are. Now, I'm glad that those independents are taking votes off of the Liberals. That's great. Most of the Teals completely in Liberal Party seats. That is better than having a Liberal there, because it just screws with the Liberals in a way. But at the end of the day, what is always going to motivate people, this is something else that I do agree with Marx, by the way, what is always going to motivate these groups, regardless of them, and this is not an indictment on any of those. I really want to make this clear. If you are part of that 1%, there is a lot of 1% people that donate huge amounts of their money into buying up Amazon rainforest, for instance. But as a class, they are always going to act in their class's interest. no one else is not, no one is separate from this. I'm not one of these people that sit there and say the poor are so noble. If the poor were the 1%, they would behave like the 1%. That's how society works. But the fact that we have a movement in this country that represents that 70%, you don't want to get rid of that institution. What happens when you do get rid of that institution is you get Israel, where you get two competing corporate parties. Or what you have in the US, where one party, which is the Democrats, is obviously more sympathetic towards the working class, but that's not where their bread is buttered. They are not a thoroughly unionized party. The unions are just a donor developer of them. And yes, I don't want to say anything bad about the Democrats because I understand that when you are in that system, they're doing the best they can within that system. And I think that that's extremely noble that somebody would do that with their life. But it's just not as good, is it? It's not as good as what we had here, which is that we started out with a heavily unionized party, and that has shaped the destiny of this country. What else have we got? Yeah. Geordie getting sued for defamation is like that Simpsons clip of Sideshow Bob walking into rakes non-stop. When he finishes one case, he gets hit with an... All right, well, look, you gave me $10. I am never not going to say, let's not play a Simpsons clip.
Introducing Gemini for Google
Shut up!
Database, AI that analyzes your data and adds industry insights. That is my life. It won't stop. I'm so tired. So very, very tired. Anyway, let's go back to the comments. Ta-da. What else have we got here? I should probably go back and look if there was anything else that I have missed. I'm sure I've missed one of these. I'm paying in KAD. Yeah. What do you reckon? Canada or Texas? Where would you rather live, Canadian man? Also, Texan man. Where would you rather live? Texas or Louisiana? Skateboy WA. $20. Thank you, Skateboy WA. I wonder where you're from. It is worth doing a political wrap-up of the last term. Is it worth doing a political wrap-up of the last term video prior to the election? Actions of the bills put forward by both parties over the last 4 years. Keep everyone informed. Look, I think that is super important to do. It was Mystery Man that said that we should be doing that in the last election, and I think that did genuinely shape a few votes. Sometimes you just got to give people the facts. But people don't watch the facts. But still, we are going to be doing it, because it is worth doing, damn it. Geordie, talk about abortions in SA. I dare you. Okay. Let me just look that up now. I'm not scared of a challenge. Alright. Come on, smartasses. What have we got here? Alright. As always, here we are. Diligently doing our research, reading literally the first thing that pops up on the AI overview. In South Australia, you can access abortion up to 22 weeks and 6 days without providing a reason. After 22 weeks and 6 days, a medical practitioner can perform termination. After 22 weeks and 6 days, a termination can only be performed if the pregnant person's physical or mental health is at risk, there are fetal abnormalities. We're talking about it, aren't we? Now who's the wimp? Saying that I'm not tough? I do have a little cuticle extension that is hurting.
But proved you wrong, buddy. Cake in a cup, $5. John Howard, Albo, Friendly Geordies have all the same distinct speech impediment. Why is this? I don't have a lisp! John Howard doesn't have a lisp! See, this is why Friendly Geordies needs to continue on. To fight all the fake news. Alright. Good. I think we're all up to it. We're all up to date. Let me double check on this, because this does seem like it is performing quite slowly. Let me see what's going on here. So we've got the post stream, we've got the video that's working here.
I've lost Kennedy.
Okay, alright. Alright, cool. That's all working. Let's see if this chat's working here. Sorry about this, everybody. Let's look here. And then when we watch this one down here. I'm sorry, I do have to do this for a second. No, it is working. Yeah, all right, it's working again. It's working again. Good.
If it crashes, just say crash and I'll come fix it, okay? And you
Yes,
can-
sure.
Yeah.
All right. What have we got? Prince Muskie, thank you very much for the $2 donation. I very much appreciate it. Show us your chicken. Hey, if this was Omegle, hell yeah. But because this is YouTube, hell no. What's we got here? How we going? How we going here? Just looking at some other messages at the moment, but I will look at this. Alfie, $5, wrote, throwing bucks at streamer feels a little less shameful and definitely less expensive than a cam girl. So you're well experienced in both, are you? Kudos to you, sir. Good. Who does cam girls anymore? I thought that was a 90s thing. Cake in a cup, nobody called it a lisp. Cake in a cup, what is my speech impediment that I share with John Howard and Anthony Albanese then? Go on! I'm actually quite insecure about this, I want to know. I don't check, do I? Ryan McCaffrey, for $7, thank you, that's very nice. Time for real content that we all want. Talk about Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. What's there to talk about? I don't know what to even say about it. I know nothing about it. Alright, look. We will do this in the meantime, while we're waiting for more comments to come through. Let me see. Alright, we'll do this. Oh, there's a cinematic trailer of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Does anyone like it? I thought everyone hated Warhammer Age of Sigmar. We'll have a sec. We'll have a gander, shall we?
Sigmar lied. Sigmar told us we were chosen. Warriors, stolen from death. To be reforged as his weapons.
Okay, so it's the difference between Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy. They made them look more like Space Marines. I remember being 10. Oh, they look so cool.
the immortal sons and daughters of the Storm God.
There's something I can't wrap my head around, but it is a bit too lame for me. I think they're trying to be a bit too epic, and there is not enough substance in it. I feel really bad saying this. I hope I haven't offended you. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there is something that makes me... I'm watching it. Ah! What else have we got? Some other people wrote some things. What else have we got here? I feel like Malware was more concerned with helping mentally ill LOP their junk than helping families put roof over their heads, food on the table, while the libs only care about helping big business. Well, I, Prishmushki, highly disagree with that. Let's go through the facts, shall we? First off, extremely successful inflation battle, given the circumstances. I always have to put this in the context, given the circumstances, but they are a percentage point below what the OECD average was. That was pretty much where they were pegged at throughout the worst of the cost of living crisis. Now, that doesn't sound like anything because it's 1%, but it's a little bit like in the atmosphere where you raise the temperature by 1%, and that has huge ramifications to the rest of the planet. It is the same thing when you have an interest rate, the difference between it being, say, at the peak of it, 7% and 8%, a bit the same. Every one of those percentages is another hammer in the Australian consumer. That ricochets onto, well, it would if the RBA weren't assholes, but it usually should ricochet onto the RBA saying, oh, okay, we don't have to raise interest rates as much. And it also ricochets in the form of loans. It also ricochets in the form of how much goods are going up. Yes, I understand that there is heaps of price gouging that happens during a cost of living crisis. That is always to be expected. But if there is higher inflation, there is going to be more price gouging. That's one way. That's just one way. There is also massive amounts of investment into social services. And we're talking about not just cutting the efficiency and red tape of getting onto these social services, but we are also talking about investing in these social services so they could go out and help the people that are those in need. There has been huge amounts of investment in housing. I think that we're up to over $20 billion of an investment at this point, when you include the HAF. So that's $10 billion of investment in 2 years. The next budget, they're probably going to announce a hell of a lot more in housing. There has been a bunch of laws that have been changed to help with, in creating this. If they were able to pass the bill to rent, that would be very beneficial to people keeping a roof over their head. There is also wages. Think about how many wage increases you've gotten. Year-on-year wage increases. I think we are getting to the point where wages are starting to beat inflation once again. Now, obviously, they're not going to beat it during the cost of living crisis. They didn't anywhere in the world, I don't think. I'd have to double check that. But there would be very few countries where that was the case. Generally, though, when Labor is in power, your wages beat inflation. That's crucial. That's really important stuff. They also went to war with the supermarket giants. They also, when the Liberals came in and they wanted to do Republican style, giving tax cuts to the absolute most wealthy people in society, the Labor Party redistributed those tax cuts to the middle class and working class, and as always got no credit for it. These are all huge, here's money directly in your pocket. Big decisions. And at the same time, while they're sitting there and saying, oh, this is all very inflationary, $300 rebates, this is what the press has been running for 10 years. Sorry, for 2 years, not 10. I wish 10. That'd be a paradise for me. If they were whinging about this for 10 years, that would be great. But that whole time they've been saying, this is all very inflationary, while they've been outperforming inflation globally. Cadney wrote, take 2. Love your work, Geordie's been watching for 11 years, but the fans need to know. If Yilmaz got into Parliament, what party would he belong for? Stooge? I think we all know. United Australia? Look at this guy. Come on. Let's just... Now, this is something that we can all do. I'm sick of watching Age of Sigmar. Has anyone made this joke before? More like Age of Smegmar. What am I looking for again? Oh, yes. No, that's right. I'm not looking for Age of Sigmar. We'll be going onto this screen here, and we will be looking for Ralph Babbitt. Yeah, let's watch Senator Ralph Babbitt's first speech.
To order, I now call.
To our diggers, I salute you, now and forever. You are better men and women than what we could ever hope to be here in this place.
The man
My
deserves
family and I
more
arrived
attention.
in Australia in 1990. I was only 7 years of age. I was born on a small island of Rodrigues, which is part of the Mascarene Islands. It is to the east of Mauritius, which is itself to
Yeah. I'm not to hear your life story, buddy. What are you going to do in Parliament?
do make these important decisions, that we do so for the benefit of Australia and all of her people. That we put aside minor differences for the benefit of nation first. Nation first! That must be at the core of everything that we do here in this place.
This guy practiced this speech before doing it, you can tell. Don't you think that in his script he wrote, bump fished on podium?
We should
Oh yeah, that's right.
cooperate with all. We should trade with all. But we should avoid entanglements which do not benefit Australia or her people. We live in a world where powers beyond our shores seek ever-increasing levels of control and influence over the direction of our country and our people.
Wow, talk about having it both ways. What is the average UAP voter? Who are these people? I think they just like people that sound very forceful. I think that's all they're going on. This man immediately went from, we need to have strong trading partners, but we also have these other countries that are trying to influence us at the same time, and we need to stand up to them. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways. Which one do you believe in? Especially because, I think we've said this in a video before, but isn't your entire party funded by Chinese interests? Isn't that the case? Where's the money coming from? So anyway, that's my big question about that. But I'm going to keep Ralph Babbitt in the background as a stern reminder of how to live up. Because, as he says, he is nowhere near as good as the Diggers, but I think we can all agree we are nowhere near as good as Ralph Babbitt. Let's see. Look at all these big spenders. People are giving out big bucks. Thank you for all the big bucks. Thank you for all the big bucks. I believe they were talking about your attempts to repeal abortion in South Australia, introduced by Ben Hood in the Legislative Council. Ah, is that the case? Look, it's time for me to go full again. I think that there is quite a good chance that you could win elections and be anti-abortion. I didn't think that you could be. I thought that society had gone over that. I thought that this had been done and dusted, and I thought that this was more something in the fringe Christian circles that they talked about, we must bring it back. But I think that you can purely go in on different agendas, not talk about it that much. Yes, it'll annoy some women, but obviously, as we've seen in the American election and the Queensland election, not enough women. And then they come in and then they can do it. I guess that's the case. 10. You mentioned that you don't really think about vaping, but if the Liberals put in the same policy, I expect you would have covered it in the same way you covered the lockout laws. Changed my mind. Yeah, okay. I'll change your mind. I'm just a bit old. The only reason that I was into the lockout laws back then is because I used to go out. I'm sure if I vaped, I'd be, oh, this is outrageous. But look, man, I've only got enough fucks in me. And I think that you can see that we try and reserve our fucks for the big boys, for the important ones. And there is a lot of them out there. I'm sure there's other people that are very passionate about this subject. I'm just not. When it came to the lockout laws as well, I think that we all thought that there was far more groundswell for it than there actually was. If you remember back then, the groundswell for... Look at this. This is my genuine mobile phone. There was a lot more groundswell for it, and I thought, wow, this is going to get Mike Baird out for sure. And that wasn't the reason that I did the video. Well, yeah, like I wanted him out, but I thought he's done and dusted. He's gone. Gone for donuts. But, as we saw, it was purely one of those, yeah, fuck him, amongst our generation and age. And no one really cared that much. I suppose the only people that did really care about it are people that went to Oxford Street and King's Cross. Otherwise, why would you? If you're in the western suburbs, oh no, I can't go out to the CBD? Oh well, I guess I'll go back to drag racing out near the Donut King. Doing donuts at the Donut King, lad. Alright, now we are in frozen territory again. Alright, so we've got a couple of people checking in a couple of bucks. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, we are streaming still. Good. Yeah, let's look at that. Where have we got anything else? I think that we've done everything. What do you think about the Babylonians sacking the Canaanites? I'll admit this. I'm not up to my biblical history that well, buddy. Let me try and look for that, and I will give you an answer very quickly. Get out of here, you freak.
We must temper this.
Let me look at this. I'm not even going to look into it. I can't be bothered. But I will look into Canaanites v. Babylonians. And whoever has the cooler armor, that's the one that I'm on the side of. Let's look at this. They don't even have armor. It was that long ago. Well, you thought God was going to protect you? What a bunch of idiots. Well, let's look at this one here. And we'll all decide together who we're on the side of. But I don't know which one's which. Violence in the Bible, the case of the Canaanite genocides. Who's who? I'm assuming that the chariots are the Babylonians. Well, seeing as we've got the genocide word there, I think we're not even allowed to mention that on YouTube. So let's just move on to another story. All right, there we go. $50. 50 goddamn dollars. Next time you're in Tassie, go to Rossenden. All right? Let's go there. That can't get us into any trouble, surely. Rossenden was the site of a genocide. I bet you that's the case. Let's look. Rossenden. All right, well, everybody, let's have a gander, shall we? What do you think about this place? Can you show me a picture, please? I want big. Come on. Look at that. Nah. Come on, man. What's to see? I very much appreciate the $50. Let's see what other people are saying about Rossenden. Why, though? That's all I'm thinking when I'm looking at this. Sicko Bamber. That's it. Why? Bruh, he gets shanked. Would I? Seems like it'd just be filled with a bunch of oldies. Can't be dangerous there, but then again, that does... That's Mad Max right there. Look at this. No. Alright, well, it's got a bridge. That's cool. And it looks old. And a house. Come to Rossenden. What do you think the ALP should take note of this year? Also, check my previous comment, King. Alright, well, maybe I can, if I can find it. Thank you for that, though. What lessons do you think the ALP should take note of in the election this year? Oh, we already went out on that, but just to let you know why we did that. Sorry, I've just got to get back the myth in the background. He comforts me. I do very much like the egg shape of his body. It's a very Clive Palmer party thing, isn't it? They all look like little Humpty Dumptys. We went through this before, but I think that the one lesson that the ALP should take from the election is, one, if you do get voted out this time around, don't take it personally. Every government is getting voted out because of cost of living. And it doesn't matter your political stripes. That's the first lesson. The second lesson is to assuage a total wipeout. And going forward, this is something that I think that you can definitely win out on. Vibe check. Go on podcasts. Talk to normies. Talk to people that don't care about politics at all, which is virtually everyone. And show them that you are normal people. In fact, look at this. Look. This is something that I wanted to... Thank you very much for asking me this. Let me find a picture. Where's like a campaign victory picture center? I mean, yeah, look. Look at this. Look at this. No offense to anybody that is in that photo. No offense to anybody that's in that photo. But do you think that these people would be able to resonate and vibe with mainstream Australia? You tell me. You tell me. To me, it looks like a combination of internet addicts, weed addicts, and neats combining together to make a political movement. I don't think that if they went on a bunch of podcasts, the average Australian would think, yeah, they're all right. Yeah, the ones that don't even know what a hook is when you use fishing, they resonate with me. Now, if we look at Liberal Party campaign victory. Let's look at this together. Trying to find a good picture. Maybe try Liberal Party Australia. I'm sure that you're used to this, but I'm not used to having a bunch of dead air where nothing is being said. So this is scaring me. But I think it's important, damn it. It is important. Look, we can even go on this picture here. I'm telling you, any picture that you look at of the young Liberals, it is all a bunch of smarmy real estates and a bunch of creepy kids from the hills. My dad used to belt on me. There's a bunch of them. They don't look like that they could vibe on a bunch of podcasts. They don't look like if they went on TikTok, people would think, yeah, that guy's all right. And then, I don't know, Stephen Miles campaign lost night. Let's see if we can get a shot of the people in the background. Something that isn't Stephen Miles. Yeah, look at that. All right.
I took two things that I love.
Oh, is it a video? Well, this might be better because then I can freeze it and put it on my point.
Hi, I'm Ronnie.
You a fan of that sound? The very real estate agent. I am. Alright, I think that you can get my point here. Look at that. Yes, there's one neckbeard friendly Geordies fan there. But again, I think that generally, when it comes to the neckbeards, people don't hate neckbeards. They hate a faction of the neckbeards. They hate the Yu-Gi-Oh card player neckbeards. But the Warhammer ones, they're all on board with them. But look at him, just some nice nurse mum. Some guy that works as an electrician. Some old woman from the block. Your average Labor Party supporter is just your average Australian. And they have to put it through this huge media nexus to make it look like they're not. They have to distance them. This is the whole thing. You know a major reason why the press started going heavily after us? I'll tell you what it is. It wasn't the Bruz stuff. The Bruz stuff was fairly inconsequential. Yes, they did run campaigns against that. But when they really started hitting us, it was when we started interviewing Labor politicians. Now, why is that? It's because they didn't want the Labor Party to have a separate voice box. They didn't want a separate platform where they could get on and have their views heard. They wanted complete control over them. And I would imagine that they'd want exactly the same thing with the Liberals, but then they started hitting them. And when they got all those hit pieces, they obviously got scared and didn't want to come on anymore. And I don't want them to come on anymore because that is the effect of it. And I don't think that they should come on this. I think that they should be going on a bunch of podcasts like Stephen Miles was doing, where he was going on ones that were talking about how good's beers, how good's Forex. I saw that clip. He should be going on those things that don't care about politics at all, so that you can see that the average Labor MP... Now, let's be nuanced about this. Yes, there are a bunch of scummy little, Sydney uni suck-ups that weasel their way into a seat, and then they lose that seat very quickly because they're not of the community. I mean, your Christina Keneally and... can't even remember, Fowler, I think it was. That's a classic example of that, where you're just parachuting in somebody that is part of the Labor Party machine. They're never going to work. But generally, when they pick somebody that is of the community... The people that are into the Labor Party are usually your teachers, your nurses, your firefighters. These are all people that the average person... Who hates teachers, nurses, and firefighters? Like, dropout shitty kids hate teachers, fair enough. But nurses and firefighters, there's a lot of those that run for seats in the Labor Party. Everybody is going to think that they're legends because they are legends. They are public servants that risk their lives and do great things in the real world to keep society functioning. There is a reason that they're into the Labor Party. It is because they like the idea of having a government in that keeps the country pumping. That's its biggest gift, the fact that it keeps bureaucracy going. And what is bureaucracy generally made up of? When you go to those, when you go to nurses, when you go to teachers, when you go to firefighters, it's made up of legends. It's made up of people with a social civil conscience, and that exudes. When the Liberals go out, they are a bunch of smarmy real estate agents, and that exudes. Or they're a bunch of creepy psychos like Peter Dutton. That vibe exudes. Stephen Miles on there. He's kind of an awkward, shy guy. He doesn't like the spotlight, but he likes public service, and that exudes. When the Greens are on, I think that might be a really big reason that they're going down to the polls. If I was the Greens, I would just stop reminding people that I existed, because you're creepy. All right. Now, we've got a $5. Thank you very much for the people that are just giving out $2, $3 pieces. I feel like I've missed a lot because it's been so long. I went on a long tirade there. Let me see. Let me see what happened there. Here we go. WoodX, $5. The Tamworth Labor branch is entirely just teachers, accountants, government department members, and pensioners. There you go. There you go. These are good people. And this is the thing that I really like about them as well. They're practical people. They are not ideological, weird psychos like your Adam Bance, like your Pauline Hansons. These people get a lot of attention in traditional media. Lydia Thorpe is another example because they're fucked. they're insane. And so it's the Donald Trump effect. You are going to point the camera at somebody who is throwing a tantrum and trying to spit on the King of England. You are going to point your attention to that. What doesn't get the attention is this nice nurse lady here. Look at how sweet she is. You can tell she's a sweetheart. I'm telling you, you go to your local Labor Party branch, you will meet really decent, good people. You will find good friends. Good friends. And you'll also find a couple of slimy psychos that are trying to climb the ladder. But I'm telling you, that is not the majority of the Labor Party grassroots branch. And it's not the majority of parliamentarians either. That is the majority of people in the Labor Party machine behind the scenes, but that's where that psycho should be. That psycho should be there, pitting themselves against the Liberal Party and Greens nerds. They should be there. They shouldn't have their face in the spotlight. They shouldn't be making the final decision. Basically, what they should be doing is fighting nerdy little wars that are fairly inconsequential apart from, just getting some kind of like traditional media coverage or something. Hey, Jordan, I want to come to your live Friday show at this comedy club, but I'm deaf. Do your live shows have subtitles? That sucks. Alice, look, if I wasn't completely cheap, I would hire someone to do the little sign language things for you. But how are you listening to this? All right, because YouTube has subtitles. Well, we're all learning together, right? That's very sweet of you, Alice. But no, I'm too cheap to get one of those guys to sit there and do the Auslan. Can you imagine how much that would run through if I had to do that for every show? But I will say this. You wait around and we will put the subtitles in because that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start TikToking everything that I've ever done in my life because I seem to think that that's just how you grow these days. Just little clips of... Follow me on YouTube. So we'll get around to it. Alice, you're a very sweet lady, though. That's very nice of you. Jai Rayner writes, do you think the media uses culture war issues to distract from real issues interest groups care about? I doubt CEOs care about abortion, etc. Well, yes, I don't think that CEOs care about that. And yes, that is entirely their game plan. When it came to the Queensland election, what was that about? Crime. Crime, let's be honest, it's a culture war. It's a culture war. If you were looking at the stats, you would think, oh, okay, and you would get on with your life. It's got nothing to do with that. It's sitting there and saying, they, you know who they are. They're going out of control. They're going wild. And then you get all the cucks on the other side being like, just say it. Just say you mean Aboriginal. That's what you mean, isn't it? And what happens? Completely distracts from the fact that, guys, the graph is going down. Shut up. Look, don't get me wrong. Crime was abnormally high in Queensland for a while, but it was going in the right direction. It was going on the downward trajectory. I am not a fan of crime. I think that the little SOBs should be hanged by their feet and beaten senseless, but it was mostly made up. Or at the very least, it was extremely exaggerated. But that is what happens constantly. Culture wars is forever there. If you watch Sky News, what is it? Endlessly culture wars. What are you doing? You are stoking all of these inflamed points to separate people away from what is working in their economic interests, which is really, who cares about anything else? Honestly, my ideal life, in my ideal world, there would be 3 topics that were only ever allowed to be covered, ever. It would be government services, it would be the economy, and it would be the environment. That's it. Oh, also, by the way, we did just release a video. In case you haven't seen the video, I'm going to put it up on screen.
It's been up on the screen, don't worry. Oh, on this screen.
Yeah, I'm putting it up on this screen.
Wow.
And I'm misspelling my own channel.
The link's in the description.
There we go. This one here. There we are. So obviously we collab today with the chick from Kath and Kim. Let's just watch what that little collab is.
Of bold and beautiful. We were struggling with foot traffic until a hot garbo recommended.
I'll tell you what, Magda Zuganski, that is her name. She's killing it, hey? She hasn't aged much, has she? She really hasn't. Anyway, that's the video there, exposing the lawyers who threatened me. It would probably make a lot more sense if I went to this instead. I thought it would be a lot bigger. And I can't be bothered to go look through the ads. But that is what was released today. It's a very important video. Make sure that you watch it. And make sure that you donate to Patreon as well, because that is what keeps this channel afloat. So thank you so much for those that do. We very much appreciate all your service. Good for you. We all think that you're very special. Yes, Jay Rayner, that is exactly it. And I think that the more that you can remind people of that they're just trying to divide us. I think that that's always a good idea. All right. Shaman Doom, $5. Every person who has worked as a staff of my local member, who is a lib, has been either a son of a realtor or some small business owner with delusions. That's your average liberal. That's them. They are a bunch of small business weirdos. We can beat them. I'm telling you, in the age of vibing, we have the best vibe. We have the best vibe. All the other vibes suck. Remember when Albo wasn't the, I'm very serious and I'm on my pulpit? Remember when he was just a sad alco that liked the Rabbitohs? You can't fuck with that. Every Australian is going to love that. Go back to Drunkard Albo. I think that there was a big obvious formula here where it came with Bob Hawke. Okay, Bob Hawke stopped drinking when he was Prime Minister, but come on, he still had the obvious visage of a guy that knew how to sink piss. That's why he was there for so long. Albo had that, and he threw away that vibe. And the thing is, that has the potential to be way more effective in this day and age. Also, we talked about the 16-year-old social media ban, so stop asking.
You can go back to the start if you want to hear about that.
But I want to talk more about... Hang on, let me just see if there's a...
The audience can do that. You do what you want, mate.
Okay, thank you. I don't want to do that. I want to do exactly what I want to do all the time.
He talked about it straight after he talked about his face care routine.
Look at this. Look. This is when, back in the day, before Sky News. Sky News couldn't hate him. Sky News couldn't hate him. Look at him go! Oh, wait, you're not watching. Sorry. This is all new technology to me. But this is 3-year-old footage. Check this out. Chug! Yeah! Now that's another! That's your Prime Minister! Oi! Mr. Prime Minister! Andy! How can you not love that as an Australian? That's who the Prime Minister is right now. What you're seeing of him on the pulpit, he's doing that because he thinks, oh, I need to be the very sensible leader of the world. You need to be that when you're hanging out with Xi Jinping. You don't even need to be that when you're hanging out with Trump. He'd love it if you sunk piss. Get a better deal because you're inebriated. But I reckon that Albo would probably hold his own. Look at him. He's a heavy-set guy. He'd be able to hold his own when he's drinking piss. He'd be able to do the thing that you see in all of those assassination movies where the guy that's been drinking poison for 20 years sips it. Don't you know I've built up an immunity? While his opponent... Let's get that from full. That's Dutton. I've never seen any footage of Dutton sinking piss. Let me look at that right now. Dutton drinking beer. So he doesn't even come up. That's how irrelevant he is. Let's see. Nothing. Look, it's just footage after footage of him looking terrifying. You're telling me that Anthony Albanese can't vibe better than that. Look at the picture that's on screen now. That's from Sky News. They're trying to make him look good. He still looks like an undead ghoul. This is the big lesson that I think that we need to learn from the US election, that Labor people can vibe the best. They're the most Australian. They have Aussie values. What is Labor Party values at the end of the day? It is our mantras. They are the fair go, mateship. What is the fair go and mateship? Why are they Australian values? These are old Union catchphrases. They were co-opted for World War I to get you to go kill yourself in Gallipoli, but they were originally Union slogans. That is embedded into the cultural DNA of Australia. They are us. Sorry. Got a little bit passionate there. Let's look at the other comments and see what's happening here. Something very large. Donny G, thank you very much for the $10, by the way. Just a reminder, anything that we do get, we are going to be putting into thingy-mabobs. I think we're probably going to be finishing in 15 minutes, but we'll continue out on this, so keep the donations coming. Make sure that you subscribe to Patreon. We very much appreciate it if you did both of those things. Some very large legacy media company does is point out the issues and ignore actual policy and things that actually make a difference. And hang on, Donny G. What the hell are you talking about, Donny? Something every large legacy media company does is point out the issues and ignore actual policy and things that actually really make a difference. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Do you like Friendly Jordy when he has an old man mouth? Scares me. Tony G, good point. Yeah, you're right. Some guy gave me $5 and said, I respect the hell out of you, constantly standing up to those in power, mate. Yeah, fighting the power. I am. Hey, if you like that, make sure that you watch this video here. This video. Jesus. There. No. You know where it is. That one. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. There. Watch that video there. Make sure that you watch that video there. Alright, let's move on to the next one. We've got $10. Alright. Spectre MCG Road. I know that you're not keen on nuclear power, but what are your thoughts on nuclear reactors / technology for research purposes, i.e. more efficient, safer, and cheaper reactors? But that's already happening. There's heaps of them. I'm not against that. I'm not against those teeny little reactors like we have at Lucas Heights. I would prefer if they weren't at Lucas Heights. I would prefer if they were in the middle of South Australia, but beggars can't be choosers. Joe Nash, can we get to the real issue? Why did you stop using Age of Empires music in your videos? Oh, la, la. Now that is a sound that I haven't heard in ages. Let me put that up. Now, you're going to get a lesson here, kids, in what a real game is. Oh, God. So much nostalgia. Yeah, the army. The army of priests. Yeah. Do the Wololo. Yes, and I remember this. Oh, God, it was shit. Look at it. You could avoid those. I remember that you could just move out of the way. And there we go. Oh, he converted it. There we go. Well, that wasn't annoying at all. Now, here we go. Oh, yeah. Watch your Jordan play on screen. No, don't just say that because I put that there. All right, we do have a poll at the top, but everybody is voting for playing Age of Empires 2. 2. I think that was Age of Empires 1 anyway, wasn't it?
Definitely not rigged.
All right, Dragon Lord, $5. Nothing to sneeze at. Wrote, Dutton looks like Voldemort and Professor X love child. I'm going to confirm this, Dragon Lord. No, shut up. Let me look at this. We just put that there so we all see it together. Hey, yeah. No, but come on, look, I can't believe I forgot who the wheelchair guy was, but that guy. I think he's the love child of it. Let's look at it. Is that how you spell his name? Voldemort? That's him. That's him right there. That's Dutton. That's exactly what Dutton looks like. I forgot he doesn't even have eyebrows. I forgot about that. I can't believe that we could elect that man. Take aside policy for a second. Just on that. How is that possible? It really shows what the Labour Party is up against, that is competitive. Now, we'll just quickly look out to these other ones because we've probably got 10 minutes to go before we get out of here. Surrender Southampton for $5 wrote, Geordies, does good governance matter? Like Biden was good economic manager and created 16 million jobs. Is the centre left doomed? Yeah, it's always doomed. It is always doomed because the other side is extremely funded, well funded. I would very much like to see how much Donald Trump raised in super PACs. I can't wait until that money is out because they always say, oh, look at how much the Democrats raise. And always the case is that the money goes straight into their direct coffers. But it is the same when it comes to the Liberal Party here. They sit there and say, oh, look, they got similar amounts of money that was donated. Yeah, but there are a bunch of other forces that are paid huge amounts of money to run independent campaigns, and why they paid that instead of it. Because when it doesn't have the Liberal Party branding on it, it's far more convincing, because the Liberal Party's just another government, just another bloody politician out to get you. But concerned citizens of wanting more freedom in casinos, they're concerned citizens. They're just concerned citizens. So it always goes into that. No, I don't think that, as Biden showed, you are not rewarded for your competence in office. You just aren't. You are rewarded purely on vibe. All right. Mr. Wizard wrote, Elizabeth SA update. 3 teens stole a car, rolled it, almost hit a house. Police crashed them on foot and charged them. The driver was 14. He was not on bail. Always the case. It's always Elizabeth. You know what the story behind Elizabeth is? Elizabeth, look at what Elizabeth. Check out Elizabeth. Mr. Wizard, I know that you're familiar with it, but I think that everybody else needs to have a good hard look what the hell this is. Not Elizabeth. No, not the old lady. Elizabeth, South Australia. Why is there so many South Australians watching this? Yeah, look at that. That's the second photo that comes up. This is the city of Elizabeth. Yeah. I'd love to do a show at the Elizabeth Playford Civic Centre one day. It'd be rough. But Elizabeth, they tried to make another centre so that they could attract people to come live in South Australia. And then they built Elizabeth and then realised, oh, this is in the middle of a desert. No one's going to live here. And so just in comes a bunch of housos. In comes a bunch of very desperate immigrants. It is a shithole. It is one of the worst places I've ever been to. It is so scary and it is really hot. It's like if Mad Max was organised. That's Elizabeth. Thank you for that, though. Oi, Geordie Spanks. Thank you for the $10, Sicko Bamber. Oi, Geordie Spanks. How do you manage to convince people that there is a grand conspiracy against Labour without looking like a massive schizophrenic that is off his pills? Burundi has a sniper on me. I don't know the answer to that. I've been trying to do that for 10 years of my life. I think that the best way to do it is to point out or get, and this is something that I will have to start doing in more of my videos. I'm going to have to start getting very educated in union history of this country so that you can have that at your tips. So when they say, oh, they're all the same, oh, none of them ever deliver on their promises, you can point out that not only do they deliver on their promises, they exceeded them. The entire Second World War construction period after that was basically Menzies watering down what Chifley and Curtin had started. That was it. When it comes to the next period, it was Howard living off the fat of the economic changes that Keating Hawke made that we are still benefiting from to this day. Kevin Rudd obviously got us out of the cost of living crisis. But what was at the core of all of that? That was unions. And they are dying. And we need to do something about that, don't we? And I haven't figured out what that is yet. Anyway, let's just move on to the next comments, because that's what I like to do with my life. Read fucking comments. Thoughts on Kevin Rudd's comments about Donald Trump? I can't remember what exactly he said, so before I run my mouth. Senior Liberals call for Rudd to be sacked after Trump. Get here! Australia's ambassador Kevin Rudd deletes posts criticising Kevin Rudd. Here's what he wrote. Okay. At a prospective office for the President of the United States and following the election of President Trump, Ambassador Rudd has now removed these past commentaries from his personal website and social media channels. Well, I mean, that's very diplomatic of him. It is in his job description. Yes, I remember that Trump was saying, it won't be long if that's the case. The United States is our principal strategic partner. We share very, very, very clear strategic objectives. Oh, wait. Where the hell is Rudd? Where are the comments? Is that all he said? Not the brightest bulb and nasty. I mean, they're fighting words for a diplomat, but let's just remember that Donald Trump, I remember the last message that he had before the election was, Kamala's getting fired. She's very low IQ, very stupid, and tomorrow is your chance to say we don't want stupid people in the White House. And then he's getting butthurt about someone saying that he's nasty. But when people say that I'm nasty, I can't disagree. Spectre MCG, Age of Empires mentioned pants, coomed. 1v1, me AoE, stooges. I just might. I will get absolutely creamed, but if anybody ever wants to play me in a game, look, why not? We might start doing that. Books on union organizing will help. You have to meet people where they are. Workers can win by Allenson or anything by Jane McCalvary is a great start. Good. Good. That's very good. I'm sure I'll remember it. No, I'm going to write it down now, Daniel. Thank you. And I think that we'll probably stop in about 2 minutes, but before that, books on union organizing, Allison.
I could write those down for you.
Yeah, well, there
you
we
don't
go.
need to write them yet. They're there.
Forever as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he actually in a text document just wrote down those names. to save for himself.
And let's be honest, I won't even look at that.
Yeah.
But I do very much like that you did that. Thank you.
That is a good.
Oh, would you look at that? We're almost out of time. Anyway, can I just say? And oh wow, we got another $50 before we win. Thank you, Casey. Hey Jordan, I've been watching you for years now. What you're doing is really important and valued, as you very well know. Much love, Casey. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, anybody that tuned in, really appreciate it. Casey, I very much appreciate that. Obviously, so nice of you. So nice of you. Anybody that's tuning in, bottom of my heart, thank you so much for doing so. We might continue to do this as a little after chat soaker thing. Basically, the reason that we are doing it is to direct people into signing up to Patreon, because when we do that, we can make more of that, which I think is very important. That is going to lead to a lot of worms being opened out of the can. And if we do more of those things, I think that that's probably good for society. So if you sign up to Patreon, we have the money to move on and do more of those ventures. In fact, the reason that I am moving into streaming is pretty much just to elicit donations so that we could move into that. And so anybody that did donate, we very much appreciate you doing that into the stream. That was very nice of you. Now go watch that video for the support. And I guess I will see you next time. And I enjoyed really hanging out. As always, it's very nice to meet our audience because it does seem to be filled with a bunch of nice, concerned, let's be honest, Warhammer psychos, but they're still nice people. Good on you.
We will be improving the tech and everything. We got some ideas for fun stuff. All building up from here. Thanks, everyone.
Oh yeah.